All right, 2.3, group discrete or continuous data. So when there are a lot of data values spread over a wide range, it is useful to group the data. So if you're looking at example 4, Loney made 30 telephone calls 1 week, and the times of the calls are basically shown here below in minutes. Okay, so this means that she was on a phone call for 3.1 minutes, 12.2 minutes, 9.6, as little as 1.2 minutes, all the way up to 28.3. That looks like the highest or the longest amount of time she spent on the phone. So we are wanting to break these into groups to where we can actually look at things that make sense. So it does not make sense for me to tally up all of the 3.1s and all of the 3.2s and all of the 3.3s. 3.2 minutes and 3.1 minutes aren't a drastic difference. So I want to put them into groups where it wouldn't matter. So this is where you kind of have to look at your data and see what groups make sense. So if I went by 10 minutes, she didn't even make it to 30. So if I were to group these in increments of 10, I'm only looking at 3 different groups, and this is more widespread than that. So their suggested value is to keep between 5 and 15 groups. And this is important. I would definitely make a star or note to yourself in your spiral when working on your project. Because if you put out a graph that has way more than 15 or way less than 5, it's not going to make a lot of sense. It'll either be too chaotic, we won't know what's going on, or you are making too many assumptions by making smaller than 5 groups. So all of that being said, instead of going by 10 minutes, I think it's better to look at this data in groups of 5 because, 2 minutes versus 5 minutes isn't a huge difference. If I'm looking at 7 to 10 minutes, that doesn't seem like a big shock to me. So we're going to organize our table by counting by 5s. Okay. So from what we're comparing, we're talking about time. More specifically, we're talking about the minutes on the phone. So we could say time in minutes. And I'm going to go ahead and abbreviate this to T. It's not wrong if you don't, but you need to be in the habit of associating variables to your groups because if this was your project, you're probably going to turn this into a graph at some point. So you need to know which one's going to be on your X and Y axis. So time is independent, that's my X, and I'm going to just call that T. Frequency, that's the number of calls in each group. So I'm just going to leave it as frequency for now since we are doing a frequency table. So that first group, we said we're counting by 5 minutes. So I know that a lot of y'all are going to just want to write this. Okay. It's not wrong. You're telling us what the groups are, but it doesn't look professional or very mathematical at the level that you need to be at, if that makes sense. I'm probably not phrasing it right, but I think you get the idea. So we're going to use inequalities to demonstrate what our groups are. So we're going to say from 0 all the way up to 5. Okay, and over here we're going to make this less than or equal to because we're okay if the call was 0, but we are not okay with it being 5 minutes. This group is everything between that, so 4.9999999 is the highest amount that I want in that group. Then I am okay with having 5. That'll be my smallest value. And then we're going to look at everything up until 10 minutes. And again, because we are including 5 this time, that is my less than or equal to. I am not including 10 in this group. It's everything up to 10. Okay, so I'm going to keep going all the way until 30, so feel free to finish yours. Okay, so now I'm just going to start counting things up. So we've got 31. That falls into my 0 to 5. That works. That works. Still looking for more 0 to 5 ones. Oh, and we've got 31 minutes there. So it looks like we need to go past 30. Okay. And we got a 35.4 here, so I'm going to add 2 more groups so that we can include everything up to 40. Okay, and that doesn't change how I want to group it because I still feel like 10 minutes is still too much happening in that group for us to really look at it. So I'm just going to count up each from here. Okay, so in my 0 to 5 group, I found that there were 10. Okay, in my 5 to 10, I found that there were 7. Okay, in my next group, I have 10 to 15. If y'all accidentally put that there were 4, that's because this 15 right here does not belong to this group. It's not included. Everything up to 14.9 is. 15 is in that next group. Okay, and that one I found 4. Okay, so you can compare with what I got, but the black underlined is where I found the 2, and then you've got your highlighted ones to finish off that table. So hopefully you got the same thing, and that's pretty much how we do group, discrete, or continuous data. The hardest part is setting up your groups, and then again, after you have everything, make sure that you have 5 in between 5 and 15. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's right in between there. So we are good.